Welcome to the Two Sides of Truth podcast with Greg. I'm your host, and around here we do the humble and not the most, because nowadays people are doing way too much, and I mean way too much. Truth seekers, I pray that this video find you in good spirits. I pray wherever you're on the world, whether it is morning, evening, or night, you are having or have had a wonderful, blessed day. Let's jump right into it. Have you guys ever heard the song Smiling Faces? 1971 by The Undisputed Truth. It's pretty popular. I mean, pretty much if you're into that type of music, you without a doubt have heard the song before. I'm gonna read a few lyrics from that song. It says, smiling faces, pretend to be your friend. Smiling faces, show no traces of the evil that lurks within. Can you dig it? Smiling faces, sometimes they don't tell the truth. Smiling faces tell lies, and I got proof. There's people in this world who will smile all day long. They'll put on the prettiest makeup and the best face. And you can associate with these people for months and years, never truly know their heart's intentions, their true motives. Jesus had Judas. He saw the miracles Jesus performed, and he saw Jesus feed the 40,000. He saw Jesus feed 50,000. He saw Jesus give the blind man his sight on numerous occasions. He saw a man being skylifted, so to speak, through a roof. He saw Jesus heal this man that was paralyzed and told him to take up his bed and walk. And yet he sold him out for 30 pieces of silver. After you had ate and slept with this man for what some say 3.5 years. Fred Hampton. There was a man named O'Neal. He walked with O'Neal. He had proved himself to be a prominent figure, a trustworthy figure, so to speak, within the Black Panther Party. He went everywhere. Fred Hampton trusted this man so much that he went everywhere with him. He even made him the head of his security. And on the fatal night that Fred Hampton would be assassinated, it was O'Neal who gave the location and was a FBI informant the whole time. Smiling faces. Smiling faces. Now today we don't have someone who is well known. Their crime isn't as high profile, but the intent and the evil in the heart. It don't matter if you're a male or female, short, tall, black, white, it don't matter. Evil is evil, hate is hate. And some people say, well, just because someone is hating on you, does that really make them evil? Yeah, it do. To a certain degree, it does. Because when people hate on you, sometimes there's no limitations. One thing leads to another, and it's a snowball effect. How far are you willing to hate on me? And how far will your hate take you? That's where it gets sticky. There might be a coworker on your job. There may be a family member. And I think that's when it hurt the most. When it's that close connection, when it's that person you never would have expected. When you like, you? Remember Julius Caesar? When he told Brutus, you Brutus? My best friend out of everybody, you too? Et tu Brutus? Et tu Brutus? Today we're going to be talking about a young lady by the name of Ashley. Ashley worked in a tech solutions company. Ashley had been working there for 4 years. The company only housed about 300 and some odd employees, but it paid great money by most standards. She was making well over $200,000 a year thanks to certain bonuses. Drove a Mercedes-Benz, and not only did she own a home, she owned a vacation home as well. The woman was living large. We used to say that back in the 90s. She was living large, fat and in charge. You know what I'm saying? But Ashley had a problem. In 2019, the company had hired a young lady by the name of Veronica. Veronica just happens to be black, and she was the first black CEO, first black female, male or female, in the company's 20 some odd years of being in operation. They wanted to reach higher heights and deeper depths and they wanted to expand in different territories and things of that nature. And Veronica's previous company that she had worked for, she was one of their top employees. She had grown the company's net gross to the highest every year for 5 years straight. So when a company had an opportunity to acquire someone with her talents, they jumped on it. Ashley smiled in Veronica's face. When Veronica would hold board meetings, Ashley would be there nodding, agreeing with everything Veronica is saying, and she was in a corner. She had her back. Hey, let's put race to a side. This is woman empowerment. This is the equality that women have been chasing for years. And let me just say this, women deserve the same pay if you're doing the same job as a man. I've always thought that was silly. At the sake of my brothers out there, my male counterparts, at the sake of you, some of you disagreeing with me, let me just say this. It's foolish. If you're doing a job, let's say you're a manager at some company and you're making 80 grand a year, right? Then the company say, you know what? We have expanded. We're doing good. We're making gains. We're going to bring a woman manager on also, but we're only going to pay her 50 grand a year. Why? If she's talking the talk, walking the walk, if she's performing the same job as you, she deserves every dime you're getting. You're getting 80 grand, she deserves 80 grand, point blank, period. So I say that to say this, they took Veronica and they gave her this position because she earned it. The woman had an MBA. The woman had 15 years in tech, and she has proven herself on many levels. So why not? Right? And you would think that another woman who's just as smart, just as brilliant, because I believe Ashley was, she had to be making over 200K, and for the company to keep her year after year, you're not just gonna dish out that type of cash to someone who has no clue what they're doing, right? But there was a secret Ashley was hiding. There was a deep-seated jealousy. There was a hatred, so to speak. We all know that 2020, COVID was in full form, and a lot of individuals who had office jobs or desk jobs, they were deferred, I should say, to working at home. A lot of people were had their nice dress shirts on, and they were sitting down doing Zoom calls in their underwear. Remember that? COVID was a beast. COVID made people go crazy. COVID had people fighting in stores over the last roll of tissue. COVID was a very scary time. But COVID also exposed many people. The Zoom call.
I just don't understand how an who probably got this job because of making these decisions. They're all ideas. These people don't...
Ashley, you are not muted.
Here it is, a woman that's running a tech company. That's rare. Another prominent woman within the company, she should be supporting her. You never know, the person that you support, when they're on their way up even higher out the door, you might be the person that they say, hey, I suggest you bring her up next. But you're too busy hating and you can't see past your own jealousy. You can't see past your own pain, your own ignorance. Those words that she said were, and some people say, well, she got exposed because of the mute button. No, the mute button had nothing to do with it. That was in her heart the whole time. She got exposed because her big mouth. She got exposed because she was hiding nastiness in her heart. And you can only hide something for so long before you expose yourself to other people. She just happened to do it on a Zoom call in front of 300 something employees. These people aren't put in these places to run companies. She's not qualified to do this job. But you know what I really took from what came out of these heinous words that Ashley said? You didn't attack Veronica because you didn't think that she wasn't qualified. That wasn't your true beef. The woman had an MBA. You don't honestly think that someone will go to school for that long and achieve those type of feats and they're ignorant. You didn't really believe that, did you, Ashley? That wasn't your problem. You also can't say she's not qualified because she don't know anything about the field because she has 15 something years of experience. So that wasn't the true issue. The true issue was that she was a black woman. And in your eyes, by your own admission, which means in your eyes and in your heart and in your mind, you felt that she was inferior and that you were superior. You felt that it was stupid in the first place for them to even consider a black person. And the truth is, you felt this all along. You felt it all along. You just waited to get into the confines of your home and thought you were muted and you threw up. You threw up all that nastiness. Needless to say, as you've seen, Veronica closed the Zoom call. And within the week, Ashley was fired. This is not like the little Cinnabon crazy lady that went on her racist tirade and that's a story for another day because that's something that can be unpacked. But there's so much more to that video than what was actually shown. I can admit that because she was harassed as well. I don't know if you guys have seen the video with the cinnamon lady, with the Muslim couple, but she was being harassed. But because someone harassed you, does that mean you go full-blown racist? Like, come on. Sometimes people have a way of just revealing what was in their hearts the whole time. And they looking for any type of excuse or reason to let it out. And in these days, they turn around and go start a GoFundMe and they making money off the backs of ignorant people. Go figure. But Ashley wasn't working at a Cinnabon. Not to diss anyone working at a Cinnabon, but she was making over $200,000 a year. So to lose a job like this and your reputation, that's a massive blow. And it's not because Ashley's dumb. It's not because she's illiterate. It's because she has hate in her heart. It's because she had hate in her heart. I want to read something. You know what a scripture just came to me. What great matter? You know what I mean? What great, does anybody out there know where I'm going to go with this? Let's go to James 3 and 5. Let's go to James 3 and 5. Listen, check this out. Let's really, really pay attention to this really quick. Likewise, the tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes a great boast. Consider what a great forest is set on fire by a small spark, right? But that's the NIV version. I actually like the King James version a little bit better. Let's go to the King James version. I like that one better. Even so, the tongue is a little member and boasts great things. See how great a forest a little fire kindles. Basically, this little thing in our mouths, this little muscle tissue thing we got going on in our mouth, you can get into a world of trouble. A world of trouble. Just by this little old thing in our mouth. And one thing about trouble is easy to get into and hard to get out of. This woman lost her career, her reputation. You can say goodbye to the pretty Benz and that vacation home because of the mouth and what you allow to come out the mouth. Because what comes out of your mouth comes from your heart. So to you, Miss Ashley, you need to do some therapy. You need to seek deep within and figure, is this the person that you want to be? Because in certain societies, reputations follow you. And all it takes for you to go get a job somewhere else and somebody say, oh, hey, you know why she got fired from her last job? And neck, boop, you're gone. But you are human. You made a mistake. I'm not one of those people that say, hey, you made a mistake. You ought to be damned to hell and let's crucify her. You made a mistake. You said some things you shouldn't have said. You were wrong. You were out of line. But this is the Two Sides of Truth podcast. So there's another side to this that says none of us is perfect. We all make mistakes. And she do deserve an opportunity to better herself. I think it's noteworthy to say that she did apologize. She did say she did not mean the things that came out of her mouth. She's just been angry and frustrated. Take it with a grain of salt. But you can show a better side of you with some improvement, with some meditation, with some prayer, whatever's going to get you to be a better version of yourself. Whatever it takes for you, for myself, any of us, to get that to that next level, to be that better version of ourselves. Everything else can pause. Everything else in our lives can pause. We have to be better human beings. We have to be. The things that keep causing us to mess up, we can't continue to do the same thing over and over again. There has to come a point in our lives where we correct those errors and move on. And there's going to be something else to correct. But how long are you going to continue to deal with the same thing that's been keeping you bound up? Because obviously this jealousy, this hatred, this prejudice, this bigotry, whatever you want to call it. Ashley, you've been dealing with that for some time. It's hard for me to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I wish you the best. And I do. I do wish you the best. And people like you. But when I say I wish you the best, what I'm saying is a better version of yourself. Because forget about someone's feelings being hurt because you're racist, or forget about the stigma that comes with being someone that is prejudiced. Me personally, I don't want to live my life hating someone. I don't want to live my life being envious or jealous of someone else. That is a sad, miserable existence. Because if you look at it, Veronica don't care. Veronica's the CEO of a company, and if you were making $200K, you can imagine what she's making. She's moved on. That's a lot of times we don't realize that. You're busy hating on somebody and being jealous and envious of someone, and they live in their life. Could care less anything about what you saying, doing. They could care less. They live in their life. And all that hatred you sitting on, all that jealousy, all that envy, for what? For what? And two, but I'm gonna tell you one thing about Veronica. This is what I liked. Because I do see sometimes a lot of people, black people, react in a way of bitter, or they lash out and they get angry and they get wild, and there's no need for that. You can keep your composure. You can operate with common sense. You don't have to lash out. Veronica didn't say, girl, what the beep, 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 beep. What did you just beep, beep? She's the boss. She could have did that. But she didn't. She chose the high road. She calmly ended the Zoom meeting. And she let her know, hey, HR will be getting in contact with who they need to be getting in contact with. And that was it. She didn't show herself to be some angry woman. You know the old saying, angry black woman. She didn't show that. Now I was proud. And once again, regardless of any race, I think that we all need to show a better moral standard. All of us. Myself first, right? If anything, I hope that you learned from this episode that hating on somebody is not worth it. There's choices, there's consequences to everything, and unfortunately, Ashley had the heart of someone that's hateful, and that's her choice. The consequence was she lost a job, a high-paying job that is extremely hard to get, right? Share this, like it, subscribe, comment, all those things, they help me, right? And let's do our toast. Let's toast to less hate. If I can ask God to take anything away from me, I don't want to be a hater. I don't want to hate on nobody. Back in the 90s when I was growing up, we used to say player hater. I don't want to be a player hater. I don't want to be any type of hater in any way, shape, or form. So we're going to toast to less hate, right? Let's do it. Let's go. I can't even talk. As always, God bless you. Don't let the devil stress you. And until next time, Godspeed. Peace.